All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about a huge mindset shift that's going to totally change how you get results from AI. We're going to stop just talking at it and start actually programming with it. And the best part? You'll be using the most powerful language you already know, your own.
This really hits the nail on the head. Think about it. For, 20 years now? We've all been trained to just dump a few keywords into a search bar and, hope for the best. Well, with AI, that exact habit is the very thing holding most people back from getting anything truly extraordinary.
And this leads to that feeling we all know so well. That frustration, right? You ask for something creative and you get back something totally bland. You want a deep, nuanced analysis, and what do you get? A robotic, boring summary. It just feels like the AI isn't getting it, doesn't it? Well, guess what? We are going to fix that, starting right now.
Okay, I love this analogy. Your politeness is literally costing you money. We're all wired to be polite, right? To say please and could you do me a favor? But when you're talking to an AI, think of it like a taxi with the meter running. Every one of those extra polite words is just a scenic route you didn't ask for, but you're definitely paying for. It's wasting your time, your tokens, which is actual money, and most importantly, it's killing the clarity of your request.
And that brings us to the big idea, the huge misunderstanding at the heart of all of this. Those disappointing results you're getting, it's not the AI's fault. It's not a failure of the tech. It's a failure of method. The problem isn't the machine, it's the language we're using to command it.
What we're really talking about here is a shift from being a passive user to an active programmer. Just look at the difference here. The user, the passenger, just kind of asks a question and hopes they end up somewhere useful. But the programmer, the driver, they're in complete control. They're giving commands and engineering a very specific outcome.
And here's the perfect way to think about this new mindset. It's a huge myth that you need to be some kind of coder who can build the engine. You don't. You just need to be the driver who knows how to operate the controls. And with today's AI, guess what the controls are? Your words. Your language is the new programming language.
So how do we actually start driving this thing? Well, it all starts with two fundamental principles that let you take back control. And listen, these aren't just some temporary hacks you'll see on social media. These are the foundational rules of this new language.
So, principle number 1 is linguistic compression. This is the art of being absolutely ruthlessly efficient. You have to strip away every single word that isn't a direct command or essential context. You need to think like a surgeon, not a conversationalist. You're basically turning a polite, rambling request into a clean, powerful line of code.
Now, this is where things get really powerful. Strategic word choice. Think of a single control word as setting the GPS for the AI. Just look at this table. Swapping out accurate for persuasive doesn't just change one little word, it completely changes the destination. You're steering the AI to a totally different outcome, all with surgical precision.
Okay, so that's the theory. But let's actually put this into practice. We're going to take a typical, pretty useless prompt and transform it into a valuable command, step by step. All right, here we go. This is a perfect example of a passenger prompt. It's polite, it's conversational, and it is completely inefficient. It is full of that conversational noise we were just talking about, and that noise is exactly what leads to those generic, boring results we all hate.
The fix for this is something we call a prompt surgery, and it's super simple. First, you just find the core action, come up with slogans. Got it. Second, you cut out all that conversational filler. Get rid of the "I was thinking." And third, you just compress what's left into a direct, clear command.
And here's what you get. Look at how clean that is. Generate 5 slogans for a new coffee brand. It's direct, it's specific, it's efficient. We've just gone from a vague suggestion to a precise little program. That is the power of compression.
But what about the quality, the voice, the style? Well, that's where the persona pattern comes in. You see, asking an AI for a summary is kind of like asking a master chef for some food. You'll get something, sure, but it'll probably be bland. Instead, you've got to give it a recipe. You define its role, the exact tone you're after, and the audience it's writing for. This gives the AI the specific ingredients it needs to create a masterpiece, not just some forgettable meal.
So what does all this really mean for the future of your work? Well, when you master this new language, AI stops feeling like some kind of threat that might replace you. It actually becomes a tool that can get you promoted.
Honestly, this is the best way to think about it.
Autopilot didn't make pilots obsolete, right? It just freed them up from the tedious, boring work of maintaining altitude so they could focus on the bigger picture, the higher-level strategy of managing the entire flight. AI is your autopilot. It automates the first drafts, the data crunching, and it promotes you from being an operator to being a strategic commander. And this right here is the workflow for that new partnership. It's a structured protocol where you and the machine each do what you do best. You, the pilot, you define the mission and you make the final calls. The AI, your co-pilot, executes the heavy lifting and refines everything based on your expert feedback. It's a true collaboration.
So let's just quickly recap the big takeaways here. Stop being a passive user talking at your AI. Become an active programmer who works with it. Treat your words like code. Be direct, be efficient. Focus on these core principles, not just temporary hacks you see online. And maybe most importantly, choose to be the driver, not the passenger.
And that really just leaves us with one final crucial question. The choice isn't about human versus machine anymore. It's about how you choose to work with the machine. And when you start using the skills we've talked about today, the choice becomes pretty clear, doesn't it? Will you be automated or will you be promoted?